right, so it is the evening of December 11th, 12th, something like that. And I have some bed of carrots that's been self-insulating with the leaves that I have neglected to rake up yet. And I decided I want to pick some because I'm going to store half of these, this row here. As you can see, I already picked some to, that row is gone. I was supposed to have broccoli in the middle, but grubs got to it early on in the baby stage because I didn't net it. And that's a problem. So I had to pull those up. But we still got a good harvest of carrots here. Already harvested half this. I'm going to harvest these as well and store them in my carrot bin in my food storage area downstairs in my basement. And I can show you that. And then I'm also going to do a trial. And I'm going to try and overwinter these, that second row, okay, by cutting off the tops of the carrots and then heavily insulating them with leaves, and then coming out here and just picking them when I need them. See if we can overwinter them in the ground for two reasons. One, it's a cool experiment to see if I don't, if I can in my climate in south central Pennsylvania, if I can overwinter the carrots on their own. They seem to be doing pretty good so far. And we have had some fairly good frosts, and those look great. I know we pulled some carrots yesterday. My daughter did from what we call our kitchen garden, which is our container garden on our deck. And we ate those, and they were delicious, very sweet. A lot smaller because they were in containers, but still great for just snacking on. And so they're doing pretty good so far. I mean, it hasn't been super cold yet, but I think, a couple nights ago it was down in the mid 20s or low 20s. So that should be, it's not going to get too much colder than that in our climate. It will a little bit, but it's not too bad. So I think I should be able to overwinter these, and it's cool for two reasons. One, that means it's less harvest for me. It means there's roots in the ground, so should keep from compaction. So that's always good. You always want roots in the ground, so you don't get compaction of your soil, of your garden soil. But also, that means if I can store them over winter, that means next year, since carrots are perennial vegetables, I can just let them grow. Save a few, like maybe a quarter of that row down there, right? Maybe that little 2 or 3 foot section, and let those grow and actually let them go to seed, and then I can harvest my own seeds to continue the crop. So that'll be a cool experiment to see. But I'm gonna dig these carrots up here, and I'll show you the finished product afterwards. Okay, sounds good. So it looks like we got a fairly good bit of carrots in this basket here. I don't know the exact weight yet. I haven't measured it, and I'm going to take off the tops, the greens. And of course, I'm not going to waste those greens. I'm going to either give them to the chickens, or which they will love. I actually gave them some earlier. And see what I mean? Chickens love the carrot greens. Don't throw them away. They're great use. Also, you can make, it's that sauce. It's the green sauce you put pine nuts in. I want to say salsa verde, but that's not it, because that's what I made with my green tomatoes. This is, what is it called? Pesto. Pesto! There you go. You can actually make a carrot top pesto. So you can eat your carrot tops. Do not waste them. Either compost them, give them to the chickens, eat them yourself in some form of pesto or that sort of thing, but definitely don't waste them. But in just 4 or 5 feet of one row of carrots, we got a really good harvest. I think, some of these are pretty stunted and kind of, maybe a little bit forked, like, say this guy here. Let's see if I can get it. Like this guy. Okay, buddy, I'll be right there. It's a little bit forked and it's kind of stunted, but, you cut that thing up, that'll be that's a pound or two of a little guy there. And the reason this is because this is the first year of the no-dig garden there. So all I did was take compost after tarping it for about a month or two to kill the sod, and dumped compost on top. I did 0 digging, and so but then you also get carrots like this guy here, right? And that's a good carrot. I mean, that's probably a foot long, and an inch and a half thick. And I did 0 digging, So you get mixed results, right? Just because you're letting the food do the work for you. But I did zero digging, just threw compost on top. Didn't disturb it really any. And so you really give that chance for the micro biome, the fungi and the earthworms, all that kind of stuff. You don't destroy their habitats by tilling or digging or turning over the soil. And you can get great harvests just from that. So you just get this here. So I will give this away after I, not give it away like give it away to someone else, although maybe I will to some of my neighbors. I mean, like, give it away as in I'm going to weigh it for you to see how many actual pounds of carrots I got out of, 5 feet or 4 to 5 feet of one row of carrots. And then we'll see what we get there. So talk to you soon. Okay, so here they are, all washed and pretty, except for this one. Not exactly sure what happened on this one. My guess is that it got split open somehow by a rock or something when it was growing and then got all this mangled. So we'll probably not store that one and just eat it. I mean, it looks pretty gross, but I'm sure it's delicious still. So, but there's some really good carrots in here. There's some not so great ones, but then there's some really good ones as well. For instance, like, I don't know. I'm happy with that carrot for a first year of no dig, right? So let's see how much this is. Just going to change here on my scale to poundage. Yeah, where's my pounds? Okay, just going to break this thing. I don't know how much it'll take. Look, I don't even have enough. Too many pounds of carrots. That's what it is. Too many pounds of carrots. So we come over here. This is my storage method here for this particular batch of carrots, giving the old sand in a bucket a try. So I got about 1 inch or 2 of sand to the bottom, and this is washed play sand is what most people recommended. I'm sure all types of sands work fairly well, would be my guess. But the idea here is that you lay it down, right? And you just sort of space them out like this. Okay. I'm not gonna, that one's not worth storing, so put that there. And again, some of these are not the prettiest, like this guy. He would have been great if he would have been able to get past, I don't know if he hit a rock right in the middle or whatever he did. Some compacted earth near the pathway or something. But hey, you chop that thing up, that's gonna be a pretty good carrot. Put in some soup or, do a little bit of julienne and some kind of stir fry or something. I'm happy with it. Food doesn't always have to be pretty. Like this guy. Oh my gosh, he's got legs, right? It's fine. You know what I mean? We got legs. Why can't carrot have legs, right? So we'll just put some of these in here. And the idea is that this will keep them moist and cool and protected, and that they will store. Just like, sort of like if they were in the ground as well. I know some people say take the tops off. Some people say leave them on as far as little stubs. I left the little stubs because I think they look cool that way. Not sure if that'll have any effect. And maybe potentially if they last long enough, it'll give me a head start for new growth next year if I don't use all of these, since I will have those other carrots in the kitchen garden as well as the carrots that are going to be overwintering. So we're going to get them layered here, right? Technically they say not to touch, whatever, but again, everything doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just get one more in there. How about that? Okay. So we got a layer of carrots there, and then the idea is that we're going to cover that with about 1 inch of sand, and I have a bag of sand right there to use. So we're going to give that a shot and do another layer. Maybe get 2 layers out of this bucket here, and see come back and see how long they last. So that's how I'm choosing to store this particular batch of carrots. And then I will show you once I start preserving the ones out there that are still in the bed, and how we're going to do that, and we'll see which one lasts longer and which one tastes better at the end. So I'm happy with our one row of carrots. Right, this is, you know, that entire bucket was about 4 or 5 feet of carrots, one row. So you can see how much food you can grow in such a little tiny space. So start growing. Okay, so here it is. This is the finished product, or will be once I do one more thing. As you can see, I got all the carrots covered up. It's actually 2 rows of carrots in there. So the only thing that I'm going to do after this is add in a like a moist towel of some sort, so that it really locks in the moisture and just keeps it pretty humid in there, and it also will help keep it cool as well. So that's it. And I'm gonna come back in a couple of weeks, pull out some carrots, you know, as we need them, because I still have, you know, we could have done 3 rows, but I left a bunch of the carrots out so we could actually use them and eat them in the fridge. So but yeah, that's how you store carrots in sand, from soil to sand. I will give you an update on how it goes when I pull the first one out. I'll show you that, and we can go from there. So start growing some carrots. They're delicious, they're pretty, they're fun, fairly easy if you can get past, you know, if you can get them to germinate well. That's the only hard part about carrots, is the germinating part. You know, you think, oh my gosh, it's been 3 weeks, why haven't I seen anything? And then they pop up, right? So you just got to be patient with them in general, because they do take a while to grow and to germinate. So eat some carrots, grow some carrots. Have a good day. Oops.